Hi, welcome to Vishwa Blooms. Today we are going to learn topic rational numbers. Okay. So what is this topic rational numbers? But before moving into that topic rational numbers, we should know something. This is class 8, okay? Class 8 syllabus mathematics NCERT. So before knowing this term, we should know these all terms first. Okay. So what is a natural number? The numbers which are to count and are called as counting numbers are called as natural numbers. So natural numbers are counting numbers. Like which applications we will use the counting numbers? Like your roll numbers in your attendance book. You will not start from 0, 1, 2, 3. You will start from 1, 2, 3, 4 attendance, right? That is one of the case where you see natural numbers we are using there, right? Now we'll move on to whole numbers. Whole numbers, the set of natural numbers altogether with 0 is called whole numbers. That's all, just we are adding 0 here, right? 0 is included in whole numbers. And one more important point, natural number is denoted by alphabet N and whole number is denoted by alphabet W, capital, okay? Then we have integers, and here is the set of that natural numbers and whole numbers. So how you should represent them? N is equals to set of 1, 2, 3, 4 so on till infinity. It will go on till infinity, right? And here also till infinity it will go on. Next is integers. The set of whole numbers together with negative sign of natural numbers are called as integers. So what these integers are denoted by z and as well as I also, okay? So one more point you need to include there. So the set of integers is also denoted by I also, I and z, okay? So you will have positive numbers here and as well as negative numbers. Like how you will denote, I will show you now. See, here will be your negative side. This side, left side will be negative, right side will be positive and positive numbers, and in between we will have 0. So let's check how we should represent it. So you're not supposed to put arrow marks, but for our convenience we are putting it. Here 0, here 1, 2, 3, so on. Here -1, -2, -3, so on. Like that it will go, right? That is the set how you should represent integers. I means integers, just now I told you, right? Yeah, now we got to know all this integers, natural numbers, whole numbers. So all the topics which we have to discuss we got to know. Now we'll move on to the topic rational numbers, right? For that, let's begin with rational numbers now. Yeah, rational numbers. The numbers of form P by Q are called as rational numbers. And one more condition is also there, where P, Q do not belong to are belonging to integer set and as well as Q is not equals to 0. So these all rules it should satisfy. So I will show you here how you should write actually in symbolic form, where P comma Q, this is belong symbol, okay? I is integers, just now we discussed, and Q is not equals to 0. That's all how you should denote this. So like this you should denote it. So these are the conditions which should be satisfied, then only it can be a rational number, right? Next, the collection of numbers of the form P by Q where Q is greater than 0. This is one more main thing, denoted by Q. So rational numbers can be written as Q, alphabet Q, right? So this is about rational numbers. One more important point has been given here. Rational numbers include natural numbers, capital N, whole numbers, capital W, integers, capital I or capital Z, anything, positive fractions. So we are using fractions also here. That's why I have introduced the terms natural numbers, whole numbers, integers to you once again. Right? Hope you understood it. We'll move on to the other part. Now we'll look at types of rational numbers. Okay? Types. So there are two types of rational numbers. One is the positive rational numbers. And other one is the negative rational numbers. Right, these two are the types of rational numbers. We will call it positive rational numbers or negative rational and negative rational numbers. You can also call them positive rationals and negative rationals. So what are positive rational numbers? So let's look at that first. In the types, so positive rational numbers are nothing but whatever the sign they are having, no, they should be same. So it should be represented in P by Q, as I already told you. The fraction or the rational number should have same sign. So positive should have same sign. That's all. That is the positive rational number. So I will take some examples. 3 by 4 minus 2 by minus 5. So minus minus get cancelled so that it becomes plus and it is again 2 by 5. So like that. Okay. Let's look at negative rationals now. So negative rationals are just opposite of positive rationals. That means they should have different signs. That's all. And other than that, nothing. And it should satisfy that condition for sure. P by Q. It should have, if we will take one example, that is minus 5 by 4, or else you can take 3 by minus 4, anything. But it should have two different signs. Here it is plus 3 minus 4. And if I take one more example, it is, I took one, that is plus 4. So two different signs, right? That is what is about these rationals. Yeah, well, we already know that 0 is also a rational, okay? Why it is a rational, you might be thinking of. Because 0 by 2 is defined, 0 by minus 7 is defined. So this is 0 is also a rational number. Now we have something different. That is standard form. So what is the standard form, you might be thinking of? Standard form is nothing but simplest form in simple words. So it is the simplest form. That's all. Standard form is simplest form. So for how we have to do the simplest form, you might be thinking of, right? So simplest form. Already this P by Q, whichever we have, is in the standard form. Okay. For that, what you should do is, suppose if I have now 5 by 25. It should be cancelled, okay? It should be in simplest form, as I have already told you. What it should do? These should be cancelled. Like 5 ones is 5, right? And 5 5s is 25. So our rational number will be 1 by 5. This will be the standard form for 5 by 25. We will take one more example. Now say if I have 20 by 2. Now 2 tens is 20. So answer is 10. You might be thinking this is not a rational number. So every natural number has a denominator, is a fraction by having denominator 1. So 10 by 1 is nothing but 10 only. So this is also a rational number. That's why in the beginning I discussed natural numbers, whole numbers, integers. Right? Next we'll move on to another different topic. Reciprocal. So what is this reciprocal? Reciprocal is nothing but just the multiplicative inverse. So you might have already know what is the multiplicative inverse till now, right? So let's look at what is multiplicative inverse now. Say I have 1 by 5. Reciprocal is nothing but when I multiply some number, I am putting one round for that number, I should get 1. So which is the number if I multiply I will get? That is 5. So this is the reciprocal. I am just showing you one scenario, okay? Actually, when you want to find, now immediately I will give you one number, 35 by 16. So you will not be thinking what? You should not think of like this. So 35 by 16 if I give, immediately you should be able to say that is 16 by 35. Because when you cancel out these two, these all, you will get 1. So that is a trick. So you should be thinking like that. Now I showed you only positive number example. Now let's look at one more thing. I have 12 minus 12 by minus, no, let it be plus 1 or plus 4. Okay. Now I should find the multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal if I have. So what should I do? I should just put it opposite, that is 4 by minus 12. But according to standard form, you should have the negative sign top and positive down. I'm sorry. Minus 4 by 12. It should be written as minus 4 is right only. If you are finding the reciprocal or multiplicative inverse, you will be thinking it is 12 by minus 4. It's wrong. This is correct answer only, but that minus sign should be above. So minus 12 by 4. So this will be the standard form. Sometimes no, they will ask for standard forms only. That time it is very important for us to do that. Yeah, now let's begin. So we have some note points now. I have some note points. What are the note points? Let's look at. So if I have number b by a, its reciprocal will be a by b. Right? And one more thing, 0 doesn't have its reciprocal. 0 do not have reciprocal. This is very important question, okay? So 0 doesn't have reciprocal. And the reciprocal of 1, have you thought that? So reciprocal of 1 will be 1 itself. Because 1 by 1 is just 1. Right? So that are the 3 points. And one more thing. The reciprocal of minus 1 is minus 1 only, because minus 1 by 1 is minus 1. That is why it is like that only. Now if I have a to the power minus 1, it is going to be 1 by a, because this power represents, it's just the reciprocal or multiplicative inverse. It is the exponent, like that. Okay. Now by this we would be clearly understood that a by b, if I want to write this reciprocal in that minus 1 forms, exponent forms, I should write a by b to the power whole power minus 1. Like this I should write. And clearly if I have, clearly I can understand that is a by b to the power minus 1 is going to be b by a. Because what is happening here, you would be thinking, if you don't understand, now listen. 1 by a by b, that's all. So when you are having these powers, it means first, before getting this answer, actually this is 1 by a by b. Now when you do that, 1 by a by b, so what it is going to be? 1 into b by a. Because when you are doing division in fractions, you should do reverse, right? The number will be reciprocaled. So obviously 1 into b by a is b by a. That is why you are getting this. This is the, I am showing you the procedure how I got a to the a by b exponent minus 1 is equals to b by a. Why I got, I am showing you. Okay. Next we'll look at some word problems. We have one word problem. I am reading the question. Find the rational numbers that should be subtracted from minus 5 by 7 to get minus 1. From number whichever we have, that should be first. That is the main rule in subtraction. Then minus x. We are taking that number be x equals to minus 1. Then minus x, let it go that side so that it becomes plus, right? Now minus 5 by 7, this will be plus 1, that plus 1 will come this side, right, which will be equals to x. Now what you will do, you have to find the LCM. 1 LCM is 7 only. Okay, so you should make this also 7. Now minus 5 plus 7 by 7, because we got the LCM as 7, so this is plus, okay, which will be equals to x. Now when you do this solution, 7 minus 5 only, no, that one. So it is going to be 2 by 5. So this is the answer. X will be equal to this. So this is one of the word problem. Yeah. Now we are looking at operations of rational numbers. Okay. I'm going to zoom it. We have studied the basic operations of addition and subtraction, multiplication, division of rational numbers in our previous class. Let us recall and learn these properties. Okay. So what is this? So here now we are going to learn what are the properties. Okay, properties. First and foremost property is closure property. Closure property is nothing but A, this is nothing but operation symbol, B equals to, it should be belonging to, when you add up it should belong to the same group. Now say if I have two numbers, I will take 2 and 3, and if I say it is natural number, when I add them 2 plus 3, it is going to be 5, where 5 is a natural number. Therefore it is satisfied. Right, like that I should check for rational numbers now. So let's look at it. I am going to take easy example so that my problem goes faster. So 2 by 3 plus 4 by 3 is going to be 6 by 3. Therefore 6 by 3 belongs to Q. 6 by 3 belongs to Q. That's all. Therefore it is satisfied. Closure property. Under addition we checked. Now let's check under subtraction. Yeah. So that is what is closure property. Now we should check whether it is satisfied under subtraction. Subtraction, anything is not satisfied under closure. But we will check under rational numbers now. Rational numbers is not denoted with R. It is denoted with Q. So now if I have minus 5 by 2 minus, I will take some easy thing, 2 by 2. So minus 5 minus 2 is going to be minus 7 by 2. So therefore it is satisfied under subtraction also. right? Now let's check under multiplication. Minus 2 by 3 into minus 3 by 2. So can I interchange the sign? Yes, obviously I can interchange. Therefore, this 2 minus 1 is that one and minus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 is plus 1. Plus 1 is also a rational number. Therefore, it satisfies under multiplication also. Now let's check under division. 2 is also a rational number, right? 2 by 1 divided by 2 by 1. Therefore, you get a rational number only. That is 2 divided by 1. So, it is also a rational number. Right? It satisfies. Now, I am not going to give so many examples. I am going to just say you how you should do it. Now, looking at commutative property. So, commutative property is nothing but when you add, when A operation B should be equals to B operation A. That is all. That's all. I am going to give example for natural numbers. So 2 plus 3 equals to 3 plus 2. Yes, it's correct. Like that. So that is all about commutative property. Now here it is given. See, you can check there. X plus y should be equal to y plus x, but also you should check for multiplication also it satisfies. Next, associative property. Associative property means A operation B operation C. Next, that should be equals to A operation B operation C. How you should read is, if instead of operation, if I have plus, what I will do is A plus B plus C should be equal to A plus B plus C. So like that you should read this associative property. Now put down one number in A, B, C, then you will get to know what it is. So when you put down, you will get same answer. And main thing in associative property, use BODMAS or else you will confuse. BODMAS is nothing but bracket of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. That is very important in associative property. Now looking at additive identity. Additive identity is nothing but x is the number if I take plus what I should get the same number x. Which number if I add? 0. That 0 is the additive identity. That's all. Now additive inverse. Additive inverse is nothing but whenever I add its one number, so say I have x. So that's the same, almost same. See, here additive identity is nothing but you should get the same number. Here additive inverse is nothing but your resultant should be 0. See, here one number you should keep. When you add up that number, you should get 0. That is minus x. So x plus minus x will give you 0. So that is all about additive inverse. Right? So this is about multiplication. You can have a look. I have already given you examples. Okay, this is one more slide which I wanted to show you. So just operation. Here they are showing you plus so closure, commutative, associative. Same. I have showed you how to write that formula. A operation B is equals to B operation. You can have a look. Yeah, now let's look at one different property of multiplication which is set only under multiplication. Okay, that is distributive property. So this property is very important in multiplication of rational numbers. This is not there for addition and subtraction, right? So you should know about this. Yeah, let S be an non-empty set. So S should be non-empty set for any numbers like A, B, C that should belong to S. This is very important condition now. So that is, so here I will show you some scenarios. A into B plus C should be equal to A into B plus A into C. This is only distributive property of, and here this is very important point which I wanted to tell you. This is multiplication. Multiplication is distributive over addition. You should call it like this. Multiplication is distributive over addition. This is very important, okay? If I have subtraction there, that is A into B minus C, if I have, that should be equals to A into B minus A into C. That's all. So this is multiplicative is distributive over subtraction. That's all. So look at the formulas one. These are very important. You should use in your exams also. And one more thing. We have one last small part in distributive. Left distributive law and right distributive law. You might be thinking, what is this laws? See, left distributive law is nothing but it will be like this. I am showing the left one, okay? That should be equals to A into B plus A into C. This is the general one, right? We all know this. Now we will see this right distributive law. Yeah, right distributive law is something little different. B plus C into A, that should be equals to BA into A, but both resultant is same. That is very important to know. B into C, right? So check it once. You can have a look for 2 seconds. And lastly I'm going to end it with identity property, which is very important for us to learn in rational numbers. Okay. Identity property. Let S be a non-empty set. So here also we have S non-empty set. Non-empty set is nothing but it is having some things. If there exists an element T in such that A operation E, it is like this, will be equals to E operation A, that will be equals to A. You know, check it once, then you will understand it. See, here 2 elements we have. This is the group, this is the element E. So when you do some operation with this A operation E, that should be equals to E operation A, and that both should be equals to A. Yeah? And for all A in S, then if A is in S, okay, then R, one more letter R, is the identity of S. R identity is S. Okay, with respect to operation. You will not understand this, okay? So we'll take some examples up. Not examples, directly we can move to the content actually. So we have some sets here so that you will understand very easily. What is additive identity? We already know that it is 0. And we have multiplicative identity. I didn't introduce about multiplicative identity, right? Now let's look at that. Multiplicative identity is nothing but some number, when you multiply that some number, you should get the same number. Now if I put a number as x, what number if I multiply, I'll get x again, that is 1. So that's why multiplicative inverse is 1. Right? That's all. This is only multiplicative identity. Now let's put the sets now. Sets is nothing but natural numbers, whole numbers, integers and rational numbers. So let's check whether this additive identity and multiplicative identity exist or doesn't exist in these groups. See, natural number doesn't have number 0, so it doesn't exist. So I'm writing DE, doesn't exist. These numbers, natural numbers doesn't contain 0, that's why it is not existing. And natural numbers has 1, right? It is existing. And we are looking at whole numbers now. Whole numbers, it is existing because whole numbers has 0. And multiplicative inverse is possible there because 2 into 1 is 2 only, right? And 0 into 1 is also 0. Next, moving on to integers. Integers, it's obviously existing because these two are having, why it won't have? And multiplicative inverse also, it is satisfied. Rational numbers, if all these three are having, why it won't have? These exception you take, it's okay. Obviously rational number will have both. Okay, so I'll end up the class with last point. 0 is additive identity, 1 is multiplicative identity. Very important points. And how you will use this, I will show you each example. One small examples. A plus 0 is A, so that is the additive identity. Then what? A into 1 is A. That's all. This is about additive identity and multiplicative identity. Yeah? Hope you are clear with it. Before moving, we have one more small topic. How to find rational numbers between some letters like A and B. If I have these two numbers, the formula is A plus B by 2. But before doing that, your denominators must be the same. If it is not same, take the LCM. We already know what is LCM, right? So that is how you need to find number of rational numbers. If you want 5 rational numbers, first make the denominators equal. Then what you should do, one more method is this, n plus 1, you should do 6. So that number into that 6 by 6, you should do that for 2. Don't cancel, okay? Don't cancel. If you cancel, no, that will be the original number itself. Don't cancel. But I feel this A plus B by 2 is very easy. So you can remember this formula. A plus B by 2. Very important formula in this chapter. So hope you understood the chapter. Right? So example I am going to give you all now. Yeah, this A plus B by 2 I am giving. So my numbers are 5 by 2 and 2 by 3. So first find the LCM. LCM is 6. This till now you will be able to find that, right? Next, those two rational numbers. LCM was 6. Now take that number 5 by 2 and 2 by 3. Make the denominator same now. Firstly, we should do it. So it is 3 by 3, 15 by 6. These and all are really very easy because this came in fractions also, right? So till this age we would be knowing. So making this equal, that's why these are the equivalent fractions for this. Yeah, we made it equal. Our fractions now are 15 by 6 and 4 by 6. So let's write down 15 by 6, 4 by 6. Now what are the rational numbers between this? We should find it. If you want, you can draw number line if you are new to this chapter, or else it's okay, fine. I am making some line. Middle number will be 0. Let's not make this negative only. I am making -1 because I don't have space, right? Yeah, 1 minute. So I made it this number line very short because I don't have space here, right? So I put some dots here. Let's mark our number 4 by 6 and 15 by 6. So whatever numbers we have in between, we should write that. That is 5 by 6, 6 by 6, 7 by 6, 8 by 6, 9 by 6, 10 by 6. That's all. So these are the numbers we have in this. So this is how you need to find that number. Hope you like the video. Do like, share and subscribe to Vishwa Blooms, and don't forget to activate your bell icon. Okay, then bye for now. Thank you.